What's up, everyone? With the holidays around, I have had a lot of running around to do, so it's been about 2 weeks since my last video, but it's time to get back to work. So since last time, I have installed the new flooring. You can kind of see on the edges here, but it is tarred. So I used Henry's roofing tar under the entire bottom side before screwing it down. Then to screw it down, I just used an 1/8 inch drill bit to pre-drill and drove in these exterior screws. So you can see the head of the screw definitely buried itself pretty well on all of these, and it's holding well. It's not going to go anywhere. I realized that on the thicker steel, on the 1/8 inch steel, I need to use a slightly larger bit. It's going to be a 5/32 instead of an 1/8 inch, but that's all it takes. You might also notice that I have it all tarped up with the support in the inside, and I'm under an awning right now because it's supposed to pour today. So we'll see how much I get done. My immediate goal right now is to work on the fenders. So I started to prep all my lumber. This is going to be my inside piece. I'm using the 5/8 lumber for this. And you can see there's actually two lines here. So the outside line is going to be the one I'm cutting to give me the angle I'm looking for. I'm going to cut both of these, and then these long strips are already cut to the width. So I'll cut that piece first, cut the other ones to the width, glue it all together. Eventually this will be tarred. It's definitely going to be tarred before I drive it because I don't want any rocks or, this time of year, salt hitting the wood and rotting it out prematurely. So the inside will be tarred, and then eventually I want to put some diamond plate in there too, just to help protect it a little more so it doesn't chip up. Once I see how that all goes, the next step to getting ready to put the walls on is going to be putting the nutserts in here. So I'm going to make a template and make all these exactly the same, drill them out, put in the nutsert. They're going to be 1/4 20. I'm not going to put anything too heavy on there. 4 1/4 20 bolts in each corner shouldn't be a problem. I need to put those before the wall so that I could drill out the wall before I put the covering on it. That way the bolt will pass all the way through. Then depending how that goes, I have a biscuit joiner now. I'm going to biscuit join all the walls and start putting those up on the side. And then the bottom half, the bottom section where it meets the steel and meets this edge is also going to be tarred of the wall. That's not going to be a problem inside. I can go up as high as I want with the tar because it's getting insulation, so I don't have to worry about the tar being on my interior. All right, well, the storms are going to be rolling in soon, so I'm going to get as much done as I can and see how far we get. It's really raining now. I had to add some more tarps at the back. One more tarp because the water was coming in. And it's also kind of coming in on the front edge here, but I think I'm gonna start putting the walls up. So I did get around to installing the nutserts. Drilled those out. That's where the roof rack plate's going to go. I also have the fenders together. It was kind of a pain with just the circular saw. A table saw would have been great, but I didn't have one right now. So yeah, they didn't come out perfect. There's a few gaps here and there, but the plywood's not that great anyway. It's going to require some wood putty. So you can see here, this edge kind of sticks out. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but these are going to require some sanding. Also, I should have been using longer trim head screws, but I only had these exterior screws. So I used them for now, glued it all together. but I'll be taking all those back out and using trim head screws and then filling the holes with putty. So this is actually, it's not getting stained, it's getting painted just because it's crappy plywood. The grain isn't that great looking. So it'll completely cover any wood putty that I put in. So I was thinking about putting it off because of the rain, but I'm not going to. I'm going to build the walls now. So I'm going to start cutting those, mark them out, drill the holes for the side plates, and take it from there, see how far I get. Pouring, I'm cold, I'm wet, but I got one wall on. I'm using a plate joiner to cut holes for biscuits. So you can kind of see where all my marks are. You probably can't see it on the camera, but I am using biscuits to hold it all together. It makes it a lot more rigid. I rushed things. I should have waited until I picked up a table saw. My dad has an extra one. He also has a really good shop one if I just did it at his house, but unfortunately I didn't wait. So you can see there's some gaps. Not the biggest deal. The type of covering I'm putting on it is going to cover that up. But there are gaps, so yeah, actually those are factory edges as well. But the factory edges were so wavy and my circular saw cuts definitely weren't going to be any better. So I left the gap. I'm going to fill it with a little liquid nails from the inside, and then once I put the covering on the outside, you won't even see it. It's Sunday right now, so I'm going to actually be off on New Year's Day. I'll probably end up doing a bit more work to it on New Year's Day. I might see if I can get the rest of the wood together, maybe not, we'll see. But yeah, I'll get the rest of the walls together and then start addressing the covering for the top so I don't have to worry about tarping it anymore. So the next step after the wall is going to be aluminum. It's going to be the diamond plate skid for the front, and leftover diamond plate will be for the back. I also now have access to a camper where I can take some parts off. So I'll probably be taking the windows and doors off of a camper. They'll be already built. It'll save me a lot of time and money putting the doors together. So it's a full-size camper. I'll have to cut them down to size, but that's not a big deal. So that's it. I'm cleaning up. I'm gonna try to take down this awning, put it in the shed so it can dry out, and yeah, see you all next time.